What's up, everybody? This is Alex from WMD, back at you again. This time, I'm here with Matt Tanner.
I'm Matt Tanner.
This is Matt Tanner. We are going to be showing off AXYS, so the dual stereo crossfader, two stereo crossfaders in one module. So I've done a video with the loop and swap technique, and today what we're going to do is mess around with our DJing technique. So basically, Matt's got his full case here, I've got my full case here, and what we're going to do is we're going to DJ back and forth between the two of us, kind of like A deck and B deck on the turntables. So yeah, what we're going to be doing today is showing off the kind of DJ technique. So Matt's got his full rig here, I've got my full rig here, and we're going to be switching between the two, kind of like we would in a live performance scenario. So yeah, real quick, Matt, you have an AXYS in your case. So what are you doing with your AXYS?
So I'm using my AXYS for parallel compression and Geiger Counter wet dry.
Okay, sweet. So basically two dry wet mixes.
Yes.
So you've got the dry side on one side and then a wet muscle on the other side. That sounds hilarious. A wet muscle.
Just a slimy wet muscle.
Just got a wet muscle channel. And then, so you can mix between the two to mix in parallel compression, as you said, and then you've got a Geiger counter similar to my patch as well. So,
yeah,
right on. And then, what are some of the modules you're using in your case? Just like name off some
I'm using the WMD percussion modules, the upcoming kick drum Crater, Fracture for the clap module, Chimera, tambourine, and Crucible for cymbal. And then also using a PDO voice, a Spectrum voice, and a Synchrodyne voice.
Okay, sweet. Awesome. And in my case, I've got the same kind of drums, same exact drum setup. I've got an Arpitect controlling two Spectrums running through a pole 0. And then on my AXYS, on one side, on the first channel, on one side of the first channel, we've got Matt's whole case. And on the other side, we've got my case. So he can play for a while, then I can DJ myself in, play some stuff over the top of him maybe, or just when he's ready to think of a new patch, it's time for me to just all start playing music on my side. And then I've also got my stuff running through an overseer, so I can kind of filter my stuff out while I bring myself in or take myself out. And then I've got the output of that running into the other channel of my AXYS, and that's mixing between a Geiger counter wet signal and the dry signal as well. So we can have some pretty cool sample rate and wavetable effects on the master. And one thing I didn't mention is that the Geiger counter is a mono module. So I've got my stereo mix, I've got that multed out and then running through the Geiger counter, and then we're just going back into the bottom input of AXYS, which is normal to the top, giving you both left and right. So you can mix between a stereo and mono channel, which is pretty awesome. So I guess we're just gonna shut up now and stop yapping, and we're just gonna play some music, and you can hear what AXYS sounds like. Mix in a little bit of myself, and we'll hear that come in. So that Arpitect on top is me. drums out on my side. And I'm just gonna bring her in now. So now we're fully on my mix. Now I'm just gonna bring Matt in because my idea is kind of finished and he's got something queued up, and so now it's time for him to play. I'm gonna filter myself out while we do this too. So keep myself in for a while here. I put myself more into lead territory there. So now Matt's taking over. But I'm still mixed in a little bit so I can keep staying creative and keep having fun. Myself all the way out and give Matt the full control. And now we're 100% on Matt. Meanwhile, I'm going to cue something up for myself. right, so there you have it, using AXYS as a kind of DJ crossfader to go between two systems. It's a super fun and effective way to play. It's I think it's been really good for you and I, because when we play together, we kind of have, we have identical drum rigs. We have very similar rigs, especially when I have my 12U. We're looking very much similar. So it's really inspiring for me to be able to like let you take the reins and listen to you, and then be like, oh, I want to put some on top of that.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things we love about AXYS, right?
Yeah, I mean, we used to go unity gain into the mixer, just mix in.
Right, into the mix in.
So we used to literally mix into each other a lot, and now we're able to also do that, but mixing, crossfading as well, so it gives us that extra level of performance.
Right.
Where, you know, before we would have to like take 4 channels down if like I'm gonna come out.
Right, yeah,
or
yeah.
like use the master or whatever was easiest at the time.
Right, and then you run into that, I took my kick drum out, but I still hear a kick drum. Oh yeah, your kick drum's on.
Or you're turning it down still because my kick drum is too loud, but actually
Right.
I'm not all the way up, or because we're just mixing in real time. And
Yeah.
Now we just have an equal loudness fader
Right.
to go between us.
And as far as coming up with ideas on the fly, I think that playing as a duo, as an improvised performance duo, it's really nice to have that kind of backup and just kind of reinforcement of having that other person, but not restricting them or yourself to like, you only get to play leads or you
Yeah.
only get to play bass. And being able to say like, oh man, I'm completely out of ideas. I took this idea so far and we're done with it. And now I could really use some help, and not just having you come in and say, well, I've got a lead for you. You come in and say, I got a whole nother track ready to go.
Yeah, and they sound good, like on top of each other.
Right.
Is what you're saying, where we
Yeah.
have that gel to play with. It's like
Right.
kind of a jam module like that, where
Yeah.
when we were using the utility, like a lot of parallel, a lot of mixing effects, but
Right.
mixing each other is the ultimate jam.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's cool about having them in each case. I mean, you're able to use yours for your parallel compression, which sounds awesome, by the way.
Thanks.
And then the other side using the Geiger Counter, which, you know, I'm doing the same exact routing that you have on my side, but it's, you know, I've got different settings on my Geiger Counter, so obviously it's going to sound different because that thing sounds different in, you know, sounds in so many different ways.
Every time.
Yeah. And one thing we didn't do is you've also got an overseer. So if we were a little bit more practiced, or if we were like playing for longer, we would have worked out a little bit of things where maybe we'd filter you out while I'm bringing me in or something, where I only did that on my side.
Absolutely.
But with your overseer, you have the ability to do that as well, which is another really kind of a cool setup to have, is both people having overseers, because then it's literally like having a DJ mixer right there where you can just crossfade in between the two sources.
Yeah, that's where you can have a lot of the fun, especially with the modular aspect of like CVing the tilt or any of the frequencies, and us like crossing in the middle. Like,
Yeah.
Never heard it before.
Well, yeah, and stereo, man. It's just like
stereo.
1972, man.
Still got it.
I have no idea what year people started listening to stereo, but it was definitely before 72. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, hanging out. Thanks, Matt, for jamming with me and showing off AXYS. This is something we've been wanting to do for a long time, is show off AXYS in this capacity. And yeah, if you ever see Matt and I on a bill together, this is likely how we are going to be mixing between our cases, because this is one of the most fun ways we found to play with each other. So yeah, as always, like and subscribe. If there's anything you want to see me demo, throw it on the comments or send me a DM. And until next time, peace out.